So I'm going to show you how to take this to this to this. Alrighty then, we are going to jump straight into GIMP. This is where we're going to go first. Okay, so we're going to go into GIMP, we're going to go to File, New File, and then we're going to make it 8192 by 8192. Click OK. Yeah, we don't care. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to Image, and then we're going to come down here to Guides, New Guide by Percentage, and we're going to stick in some guides. Alright, so I'm going to divide this by 8, so I'm going to put in 8, well, we're going to input 7 guides, which will divide it by 8. Okay, so the first one we'll do at 50, and then you go back up to Image, go back to Guides. I don't know a quicker way of doing this, somebody else might do, but this is the quickest way. So we go back to New Guide, and then we will go vertical. So the first one was horizontal, the next one will be vertical. Okay, and then we're going to do all the rest. Alright, so I'm just going to run through them because I'm going to go through it. I'm just going to speed it up when I do it. So the first one will be 12.5, then the next one will be 25, then the next one will be 37.5. We've already done 50. Then we're going to do 62.5, then we're going to do 75, and then we're going to do 87.5. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now. Okay, so we're just doing the last one now. We click it onto vertical, and that's that done. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make this background transparent. So we go onto layer, and then we come to transparency, and then we go to add alpha. Then you take your magic wand, we're going to use this a lot. Okay, magic wand, click on there, and then click delete, and then it's gone. Alright, so once you've done that, take your magic wand, because I always forget to do this, and then just click on the grey area outside of the box. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come into our map folder, and it's on the desktop, isn't it? Yes, it is. Ceebur FS25 Bauer. Then we're going to come into our mods, and we're going to go background files, and then we've got our image here. If you remember, we got that, and then we're just going to click and drag. It's going to tell us it's not happy. Oh no, it's fine. That's that done first. Then we're going to make that transparent by 50% right now. We can change that again, we can change that later, but for now that's what we're going to have it at. Then the next thing that we want to do is we want to come back into our folder, and we want to go to map, and then data, and then we come in here, and we're going to look for roads, and the best way to do that is to look for what is gravel. Okay, so we've got gravel here, we've got gravel, gravel, gravel. So there's 3 gravels. I'm going to take the most prominent one, so you can see the darker. This is much brighter. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to just click and drag it and drop it on there. Alright, and then we're going to zoom in a little bit so that we can see it. So we press Control and then just use the mouse wheel to roll it in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to colors, we're going to go to color temperature, and we just want to change the color of the roads dramatically, alright, so that they're quite bright so we can see them. Then we click OK. Then what we want to do is we want to go to layer, transparency, add alpha, take our magic wand again, click on the black area and just click delete. And if it leaves a bit, we just come down here and just get rid of the black bits. Okay, so once we've done that, we scroll back out, click our magic wand off, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to find another one that we can use. And I mean there's lots here. Yeah, let's go with this one. Okay, so this one is mud light. So these are roadways and tracks that it's picked up and painted in for us already. We could go with, you could go with the fields, but it would be much harder to line everything up, because that's essentially what we've got to do. So we bring in this one, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we'll just scroll in, we'll have a look at it. We want to put you up into that square so that they're over each other. Alright. And then same again. So we want to change the color temperature and make it different. So we can go like an orange. Click OK, and then same again, magic wand, get rid of the black. Oh, if you mess up, go Control Z, takes it back. We need to add the alpha layer, transparency. Okay, so we've done that. Click on there, get rid of the black. Just like so. Alright, and again, if you can get it, take that out, but you don't need to. Okay, so we scroll back out, get rid of the magic wand. We just want to make sure that they are in the middle, which they are. Okay, so we can go back to our background and we can bring up its transparency a little bit here. Actually, we'll bring it up almost so it's spot on. Okay, so now what we've got to do is we've got to line everything up. So I think probably there is best. So we're gonna have to scale it down. And in fact, what I might do is I might put this on top, bring transparency down a bit more, like so. Let's color the background in, because it's not helping us at all. There we go. That's better, Ceebur. That's better. Okay. So we'll go back to our foreground, background, foreground. So our map. We need to scale this. All right. So that's this up here. And if you just hold the mouse button, don't click anything, but just hold over it, it will show you the different commands. So what we want to do is we want to scale first, so that be Shift S to scale. So just press Shift S, and then we get scale come up, and then we can start scaling. And in fact, what I want to do is we want to lock that. Okay, so we need to scale down, and this road here is this road here. Okay, so you can see how much bigger the actual map is. We just want to scale it right down, and if you want to move it, you just grab the square in the middle, try and line it up, see where we are. We've got to go smaller, line it up, and just keep scaling it until it's about the right size. You're not going to get this absolutely perfect by any means. So anyway, I'll just get this scaled. If you need to rotate the map, you can rotate it, so that would be Control R to go on to rotation. But yeah, this is a time consuming bit for sure. Okay, so we're pretty much there with this now. That's almost all lined up. We're lined up here. We've got the crossroads here. We've got the little village here. These tracks are pretty much lined up. The only one that isn't is this one, so I'm wondering whether it picked it up right. Here's a bit out as well, but I'm thinking we're okay to go with this. All right, so you have to do this. Unfortunately, when it takes the image, it doesn't take it the same as what it does with the 3D picture and the map layout that it puts into the game. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but it doesn't, and I had to sit down for quite a while and work this all out. So anyway, we are there now. So what we're going to do is we're going to export. We're going to export as, and we're just going to call it Borough Map for now. Actually, we want to save that into our mod folder, don't we, on our game? So we want FS25 Borough, we want mods, background. Here we go. I'm just going to change this actually to Borough Map Image. I'm forgetting something else. That's right. We don't need these anymore, so we can get rid of these. So delete and delete. Alright, so that's it. Then we can export, and we want to export as Borough Map Image, and we want you to go to desktop. Let's start again. Well, at least you see it twice, eh? Background images, and we want to save it in here. Alright, so export needs to be exported as PNG. Alright, this will take a minute or two. Okay, so now that is done, we need to do one more thing. We need to go to File, we want New. Now, don't ask me why it is this size, but it is. We're going to create 6144. 6144. I know. Now, it appears that we're doing a 2 times map, so that's 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer. The way Iwatkot explains it is he's doing it 4 times, but he just goes ahead and does it, and it works out fine. When I did it his way, it did not work out fine, and I had to sit down, I had to do a little bit of maths and working things out, and 6144 worked out to be right for a 2 times map background image. I don't know why, but it did. So all we're going to do is we're going to keep that there. we're going to go back to our background file map, and we're going to take the Bauer map image, we're going to drop it in there, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I want to brighten it up just a little bit. So we're going to go into colors, and we're going to go to saturation, and apparently that, actually no, we want to go hue and saturation. Nope, that's not the one either. Hold on a minute, what's going on? Exposure. Okay, there we go. We wanted to bring it up a little bit, just so it's a little bit brighter. Okay, now don't move the image, don't change anything, leave it exactly as it is, don't resize it, don't do anything, leave it exactly like that. So you bring it in the large image, putting it into the smaller box, and this is the only way it works. If you do it the way we did with a 6144, it all goes wrong, or at least that's how that's what I found. So we want to export as, we're going to go same place, we're going to export it as a PNG again. So we're going to call this Bauer map image, and we'll just call it 6144. Okay, export. I have to wait for it again, but I'll just skip through it. There we go, that is done. So we can now get rid of this. We don't even need discard changes. Close that down, and now we are going into Blender, and once we come in here we'll be greeted with a greeting screen. There it is. We don't want this, so just click off to the side, come up here to the right, we've got light, cube and camera. Right click on each one and then just click delete, and then we're going to come over to file, and then we're going to go down to import, and we want wavefront OBJ. Then we're going to go to our file, our map file, which is on my desktop, FS25 Bauer, double click, and then we go up to background, double click, and then in here you may have several. We've just got the two, and all that we want is full OBJ. So you just click it once and then click down here, import wavefront OBJ. Now sometimes you'll be able to see it, sometimes you can't see it, and what we need to do is we need to come up here to this little tab, click that open, that's the first thing, then come back here and just around the circle in the center, just right click, and then we want set origin, and then origin to geometry. Alright, then we'll get a load of figures up here, and what you need to do with these is just double click or just select, change all of them to 0, and you'll see it's just starting to appear like that. Then what we need to do is we need to come down here to view, and we need to change this. So we're at 1,000 meters at the moment, and we want to change it to 100,000. Okay, and then just click enter, which then means that you can scroll out like this, and you can see what we have to work with. Right, now the next bit, we're going to go back to item, and we want to change this to 6144, I think. I'm just going to try this. 6144, and then change this to about 300. Okay, that's looking about right. Having not been to this area, I don't know whether that's about right or not, but we can change this if we need to. And I would recommend going on road view if you've not been to the area that you're trying to make, and just checking. You can just scan the land from the photographs and see whether it's at about the right height. I've got it set to 300 because it generally puts it in the right sort of area. You may need to bring it down a bit. One of them I had to bring it down to about 150, I think it was. We may have to do that with this one also. But anyway, that's your height there. So next thing, you want to look down on it flat. So just press Shift and 7 and it will spin it round and it will make it all apparently correct. I don't feel like that is correct at this precise moment, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to come over here and we need to come down to this little spanner wrench, click on that, and we want to add a modifier, and we want to click in here and we want to go to decimate, and we want to set this ratio to 0.3. Let it do its thing, and it does take its time on some of these things just to do it because it's rendering. Okay, so once that's done, the next thing you want to do is you want to right click on here and we want to shade smooth, and just click that and you'll be able to watch it change. There you go. So it's made it nice and smooth, so we can have a look, and it's smoothed it out quite a bit, eh? Right, next thing, come back over to here, we come down to this little beach ball which is called material properties. We click on that and then we go to new, and we wait for it to do its thing, which can take as long as it pleases, I guess. A bit rude, but we'll get there in the end once it's decided that today is the day. I think this is the biggest drawback with Blender, to be honest with you, is the fact that it can take time. Okay, so once that loads up, we're going to go to here which says base color. We're going to click on the little yellow dot, left click, and again just wait. There we go. Then we're going to go to image texture, and then here we want to open. Right, and we're going to go to desktop, our map file, mods, background files, and that one, the 6144. Open image. And that is done there. And then we're going to scroll down to here, emission. We need to do this. We need to change this color to black, because if you don't do that, then it doesn't show up in in the map for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's just the way it is. It's probably giants in their wisdom, I guess. Okay, so we want to shift 7 again and get this flat. Now that we're done here, is there anything else? Nope, nothing else I need to do here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into UV editing. You click on that, and in we come to here. Now, what I like to do on here is, because I like to see this, is open up the tab. I'll go to View, and I'll change this S to the same, so 100,000, and then just click Enter. Then what you can do is you can scroll out and you can actually see it. Next thing I like to do is go Shift 7, and that lines it up with what we had on the layout. Okay, so everything should be lined up. Okay, so the next thing that we do on here is we just press A. That makes it orange. Don't know what A does, but that's what it does. Okay, and then we're going to press Shift U. Is it Shift U or is it? Oh no, sorry, it's just U. And then we're going to go to Project from View Bounds. Okay, Project from View Bounds. Click on that, and that should do that. And our map picture image should all be here, and you can just see it around the edges. And then our 3D image should be basically underneath it, but you're seeing it as being above, so it's creating the shape. And once we're done in here, we're going to come back out to layout, sorry. Just click on that. It may take a couple of minutes, or not minutes, seconds, and then you can see it's done absolutely nothing, which is correct. Press Z or Z and then click Material Preview, and then just wait. Now it could take a long time, it could take a short time, but it didn't take that long at all. So there it is. It's put the image onto our 3D beautifulness. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Now what we need to do is we need to take the center out of this, so we're going to line this back up again. That's Shift 7. I love that button. I wish you could do that in Giants Editor actually. So what I want to do now is I just want to check to make sure that it does look like everything is lined up. Now this can be very tricky. So you can see here we've got a divot here which should kind of line up, and it looks like we're not quite right somewhere along the lines. Something's not right, eh? So you can see we've got no, it is right. It is right. So it's just given us dips in areas. I wonder. That's odd. That's very odd. But these all line up with the roads, which it should do. This is all lining up here, right? It's slightly off a little bit, but we're not worried about that because this is just background, so we're not relying on it. It's just to, when you look out from the map, there's not blank haze, which, as you know if you've watched my videos, I absolutely freaking hate. But anyway, the sheer drops off the side, I can't be doing with that. So I think this could be slightly on the high side, looking at how some of these fields sit on the hills. I mean, all this looks okay, but here looks pretty high, so I think I'm going to drop it down especially here, here, and here looks a little bit on the high side. So I'm going to drop this down, and I'm probably going to bring it down to somewhere. Let's try it at about 180. That looks more sensible, right? That looks like it's working for... Hey, I wouldn't want to combine that hill, would you? I guess I have worked on hills that bad. I remember sliding down one sideways. That was fun. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that being where we want it. Alright, so just made myself a cup of tea because I needed to wet the whistle. Had 5 minutes to recalculate my brain as we go into this next bit, because we need to cut out the center. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to press Shift and A, and that's going to bring up this box, and we want mesh and then cube, and up here it will create in the collection a new cube area. Alright, so once we've done that, we're going to come to its scale, and we're going to change the scale, and logic would tell you that it would be 2048 because it's going to be a 2 times map, but it's not. It's half that, and I don't know why. And this comes back to when I had to recalculate the size of the actual map. Okay, so the actual size is half of it, so it's 1024. There we go. And then we want to change this value to about 500. We'll do it. Okay, so once that's done, we've got a lovely cube set in the center of our 4 squares. It is lined up perfectly. It just, when you look down on it, it looks like it's outside of the box, but it's not. It's actually in. So anyway, we'll line that back up. So now we're going to come back over here to the right, and we're going to click on full, and we want this again. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go add modifier, and then we want to go into search, and we want boolean or boolean, and we'll add that modifier. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to where the boolean or boolean has come up, and we're going to click on the Doppler. We're going to come over to the cube and click on that. Then we're going to come back over here to fast, and we're going to click on that. And then we've got to wait for it to do its thing. Now, should have done that beautifully. And what we should be able to do now is come back up here to the right and click on the little eye, and that will cut it out. Alright, all gone. Fantastic. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to save it. So we need to go to Giants i3D. We're going to come down here, we're going to uncheck use Blender file name, and then we're going to click for search, go desktop, FS25 Bauer, go to our mods, background files, and we want to name it background, set i3D, and then go to export selected. Now we've got to wait for a few seconds whilst it just does all that paraphernalia, and hopefully it will be happy. We will find out. Are we done? Nope. There we go. So now what we want to do is we want to come into Bauer. We just double check that it has saved it in here. There it is, background. That should all work. We will find out shortly. Go into map. Wait for this to load up. It's all fun. Are we there yet? Here we go. Alright, I want to change nav speed. So we'll just... Why is that working? Don't know. There we go. Change that to about 80. Means we can move around a bit quicker. Right, come back out here. Right, so we want to go up to File, Import. Click on this. It's not saying it's an i3D. I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not. Ah, there we go. Excellent. Okay. Ah, see now you're all going, ha 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 ha! Ceebur, you buffoon! It hasn't worked. Actually, this is pretty typical. Pretty typical. So we want to go to here, and we want to what is it that we need to pull up? We need to pull up there we go, albedo map, and then we're going to go in here and search, and we're going to find our 6144 image and just go with what it says. Now I don't know why it doesn't carry it over, but it needs to find its image again. Alright, there we go. And then we're going to go to normal, and we're not doing anything special here, but we're just going to click on that again. Yep, this is how I've made it work. There we go. It looks pretty blurry. Right, it looks pretty horrid. I'm just trying to work out which one it was. It may have been a missive. And one of these works perfectly. Yep. I'm trying to remember. That's the one. So get rid of the gloss. We don't want the gloss. We don't want the normal map. Do we want that one? Yeah, we do want that one. Okay, so we need those two working together. Now when you zoom out, obviously it gets really blurry, which is understandable, but that's the way it is. So what you want, albedo map, and then click your image, and then emissive map, and then click your image, and then you're good to go. You can mess around with it and try things and see if you can make it look better, but this, where it's deformed here, is not the image, it's the way, because in real life, obviously from a photograph, these aren't shaped to the ground, right? But it deforms because the picture, the image, is being shaped to our 3D image. So there we have it. A little bit higgledy-piggledy, but that's how I deciphered Iwatkot. Yeah, I'm struggling with his name. Maybe his name's Kevin. I don't think it is. And then all you gotta do is you gotta, as long as you haven't messed around with anything, this should pretty much line up right. Spot on. See? It might be out. You might need to fettle it, but it should theoretically be absolutely A1 perfecto. Slightly out in a couple of places, but it's near on right. So again, if you're not happy with this land, you can change it, the heights and everything, but this actually has turned out about right. Hey, everything looks like it's lined up okay. That was pretty good with that 180 guess then, wasn't it? Ceebur was amazingly good. Ta-da! Thank you for watching, everybody. I don't know what the next episode's going to be about, but we'll soon find out when we get there.